everyone. Welcome to the Town Council meeting of September 8th, 2014. Please move forward.
Calling the roll, Mr. Belton. Mr. Belton is absent. Mr. Brown.
Here.
Mr. DeFalco.
I'm present.
Mr. Jones.
Present.
There is a quorum.
All right, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Verification notice, please.
This meeting is being held in compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act, Chapter 231, Public Laws, 1975, and certification is on file in the office of the Township Clerk.
All right, under communication, we have the update from the Environmental Advisory Committee. Randy, we did receive the update. I read it. If you want to give some highlights to that, and maybe explain this a little bit on the Sustainable New Jersey stuff that we're doing tonight, the summarization for the public.
Okay. Thank you for getting me back on the agenda. Just briefly, there was a grant that we applied to on this little public asset grant. We did not get it this round, but they might be expecting some additional funding, so we will be reconsidered for that grant if they get additional funding even before the next RFP. The tree inventory, we're about 90% done with it. I've been doing a lot of walking, doing a lot of exercise, but it's going really well, and hopefully we should have all the trees inventory and open spaces for potential planting in the future by the end of this month. They talked to PSE&G about the aggressive tree trimming that's been going on in town, and they went over it with him. He talked to the people that, not that from PSE&G, not from the contractor, and they went over a number of trees, but they cut, showing that they were appropriate cuts, and basically it's back to the point of the wrong tree in the wrong place, which is what we're trying to avoid in the future, so that under wires we won't put trees that grow to 60, 70 feet tall. We put trees that grow to only 20 feet tall, and then you wouldn't have the issue with the interference with the wires. For the grant on the mount, herbicide has been applied, and it's doing as what we expected to do. Basically, where the goats were, it completely killed the ivy very quickly. The other areas that the goats weren't at, the ivy seems to be dying at a much slower rate, so it may take some touch-up. So that's what we're trying to show, that if you went in and got it under control, you could do a light herbicide treatment, so you didn't have to use as much chemical to actually get rid of the ivy. And we will be starting to plant trees on October 11th and 12th. And then as far as the Sustainable Jersey certification, the next review cycle, I have to get all the information in by, I think it's September 14th. I think I put on the 12th if it's actually on Sunday, but we would qualify for 250 points if we got everything that we're applying for. We do need a priority we need 2 priority action items, and one of them would be that one of the resolutions that's on tonight's agenda, which would be the pledge for sustainable land use. I don't know if do you have any questions on the 2 pledges? Or?
No, I read them over.
Okay. I mean, they're pretty straightforward. They're basically pledging that you'll do, to the best of your ability, do sustainable land use when it comes to redevelopment, or but if it's cost prohibitive, you don't have to. But you have to at least look at the alternatives to do it in the environmentally friendly, and also for to implement ways to, like, for stormwater management, for additional energy efficiency and that sort of thing. But if it's cost prohibitive, you don't have to go ahead and do it, but at least look at the option when you're going to do new development. And the other one is just the pledge to support New Jersey wildlife pledge, which is pretty straightforward. It doesn't, I mean, I don't think we really don't have any threatened species in the areas except for perhaps bald eagles, because there are actually bald eagles around the creek. I actually saw one place. So we would have to just protect those habitats. The other thing that is on here is that we've been talking a little bit with John Anderson. He was kayaking in Vancouver, and he saw some kids who didn't understand what a kayak was. So the idea was he's trying to put together a little brochure that would be educational for the kids on a to show them what a kayak and what water safety is. And maybe in the spring, we might be able to perhaps do a program with the rec department, maybe bring in some kayaks from EMS or REI, perhaps they can do a kayaking workshop type of thing with kids. I think it would be a lot of fun for kids and parents to be able to pull something there. He has 4 kayaks himself, so we could do it on a small scale, even if we don't get a lot. But they were really interested, the kids that we ran into, because they didn't understand how he was able to maneuver this boat with these paddles and go back and forth and turn it and stuff. They were like, they said, oh, he's canoeing. And I said, no, it's kayaking. They had no clue what it was all about, but it's kind of interesting. And then we also have an opportunity to send 1 or 2 people to the annual Shade Tree Conference, which is in October. We still have some money in our one Sustainable Jersey grant, and I think Sedona is interested in going. And if no one else on my committee wants to go, or if someone from Public Works wants to go, we can send someone. I've been to it a couple of times. It actually has a lot of good workshops, a lot of information there. And the last thing that I was on here was that I did look up the pricing for some replacement plants for the rain garden out by the shin cabinet, and it's going to be about $100. It's probably more plants than we need, but you have to kind of buy them in bulk, but they're really cheap. So even if you bought them retail, it would be about the same price, but we just need a lot more plants for the money. We could probably use them some other gardens throughout town because there would be way too many for that garden out there. And I think that's about it. So I don't think any other questions.
Next, we have the approval of the minutes. That's the minutes of the regular meeting of August 11th, the special meeting of August 18th, and the special meeting of August 21st. Any questions, changes, corrections? If none, do I have action on those minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the regular minutes for August 11th, the special meeting minutes for the 18th and 21st.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Nataka?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Matters to be presented by the public. Members of the public are invited to submit comments during the public comment portion of this meeting. The council, pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, will not publicly discuss personal matters and may choose not to respond to comments made by members of the public during this portion of the meeting. However, the council will give all comments appropriate consideration and will refer all individual complaints to the township manager. Each citizen will be allotted 5 minutes to speak in order to allow everyone the opportunity to express their opinions or concerns. At this time, I will open the public. Does anyone here have any questions you'd like to ask council? Louis?
Good evening, Madam Council, Mayor, Deputy Mayor, for Nancy Russo, we 5 at 370 Southwood. I want to say thank you to everyone who attended the first movie night. It was amazing. I mean, I was by myself, just got for work on time. I loved it. I hope you could continue, second movie night once every month. That should be good.
Yeah, we're looking at doing something starting next year. We're having one per month. It's not been discussed, but yes.
I had many reviews from YouTube, to leave comments. I said, it's a good movie, like a good shot of people playing basketball, people, standing for the movie. I appreciate it. Everyone who participated. Can you clarify, I don't know if I asked a question to the township manager or to the mayor.
Address the council
okay.
as about
The council.
you can direct it afterwards.
Okay. My question is, for the special meeting, that one I missed, it was a 3 yes and 1 no, that's correct?
That's correct. Budget passed that meeting, yes.
Okay, he's not here to ask why he said no. And there's a mistype right here, the Lou Brown is not in the schedule. I mean,
Be on the agenda?
yeah.
Might have just been a misprint.
Oh, misprint, I mean, I'll do it.
He's here, in body.
Just, second question is for resolution A, B, and G.
A, B, and G.
Yeah, could you clarify?
So, yeah, so, A, right? This is the agreement with Rutland County Department of Pricing System. Basically, they require a resolution every so many years for us to use their purchasing power that the county has. So they purchase certain items, and through that agreement, we get a discount to buy certain things from the county, like a bulk purchase. All this is basically renewing the same resolution that we've done in the past for that. Okay, B is just a liquor license renewal.
You know where that?
I'm sorry?
You know what's that? Huh?
Bridgeton Pub.
You know where?
That's currently where Village Meeting is right now.
Oh, okay, well, okay,
So we're
right.
just
Okay,
renewing
I
the
got it.
liquor license.
And then G is, this is the grant, so this is a grant for Seamane Associates to apply for Brownsfields funding for remediation purposes for some of the sites that we have that need to be cleaned in town, properties, the remediation project being developed.
There was a future site across the street from Cosmo.
That's a Brownsfield site, so that's
Oh,
a good
okay.
example. That site is a listed Brownsfield site, and with a grant, if we got one, would be used to clean up those sites to prepare for development.
And it's one of there's there's 4 events, coming up this week. You have Mount Harry NBA, you have Latinos Hispanic Federation on Saturday, September 20th. You have High Street downtown, Endless Summer, that's on the 13th. And you got the September 11th ceremony right across the street, right here.
Right out front, yes.
And I will be there, and thank you, and I hope, I hope we could get the house before Christmas or something, or, to move in. I see people moving in, I see actually, wow, I appreciate it. Thank you for taking
You're welcome.
that.
Does anyone else have any questions to come up with? Seeing none, we'll close the public portion of the meeting. Next, we have a consent agenda. That consent agenda is as follows: Resolution 2014-121 through 127, include the bill list and the department reports. Anyone on council have any comments, questions regarding anything on the agenda? Hearing none, do I have action on the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. DeFalco?
Yes. Next, we have matters reported by the manager. Eric?
Actually, everything's in your packet. What you see on the agenda is actually just a photo, it's a prototype of what you'll be receiving in your packet with the explanations from my office, okay?
Perfect.
The one thing that I did want to highlight was hopefully you have read the report back from the dam. I'd like to move forward on that if I can get here.
I sent
I saw that.
okay.
And it's fine.
Okay, yeah, I just didn't get a response,
I'm-
so I was,
Well,
I saw it on here and I figured we would discuss it tonight, but,
Yep, we're good.
okay?
Thank you. That's all I
That's
have.
my main concern.
Good concern.
Is it Eric?
That's it.
Solicitor?
Nothing to report tonight, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. And with that being said, any comments, questions, remarks from council?
I just, like Mr. Lopez says, there's the 9/11 ceremony on the 11th at 9 a.m. Right out in front of the Township building. I was speaking with some of the members from the Veterans Committee the other night, and they were very excited to have this event, and they will be having refreshments and everything after at the VFW. So please come out and attend. It's always a great memorial that they do. So hopefully I'm trying to get off of work so I can make it there, but that's what the boss says. So other than that, I have nothing.
thank you for coming out. Like Louis says, the first family movie night was a success. It was great. Thank you to Alan for picking up the generator, helping set things up. I compliment the Globe 10, the PTAs, PTOs, that were all involved, Public Works, getting things ready. We had a good 150 people that watched the movie that night. It's nice to see people using that park again. So, much more positive things to happen in the future. With that being said, thank you for coming out. Have a motion to adjourn. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks for